Hi, I'm Erica Lopez, Chair of the Hillsboro School Board. Today, some of my board colleagues and I would like to talk to you about our priorities for the 2021 legislative session. We know this session will be unlike any other in recent memory, with many competing and critically important interests coming to the table to ask for funding, support, and modifications to current state law.
And while the 2019 legislative session resulted in some big gains for education, including passage of the historic Student Success Act, that momentum must be maintained if we are to fulfill our promise of a world-class education and bright future to our students.
Each of Oregon's 197 public school districts is unique, but there are many things we share in common. We believe our top 3 priorities for the 2021 legislative session are universal across the state. Number 1, provide stable and adequate funding for K12 education. Number 2, protect the Student Success Act and the Student Investment Account. And number 3, provide for students' COVID recovery.
Education needs a sustained investment that is tied to a reasonable assumption of inflation year over year to maintain current service level or CSL. In the past, there have been discrepancies between how the Legislative Fiscal Office and the Oregon Association of School Business Officials calculate CSL. This has led to insufficient budgetary allocations to K12 education at the state level that have caused many larger districts like Hillsboro to make dramatic cuts to their operating budgets. The share of the state's budget that is dedicated to K12 education has been steadily declining since the turn of the century, once 45% and now accounting for just 38%. This erosion is important because it directly contradicts the sentiments expressed by most elected officials and residents across the state that education is a top priority. Supplementary targeted investments like the Student Success Act are immensely helpful, but do not take the place of base funding that supports all students.
In the 2019-20 school year, districts spent months engaging in an intensive outreach and feedback gathering process to ensure all stakeholders knew about the Student Success Act and were able to share their priorities for student investment account dollars that would flow through to them in support of increased educational time, investment in mental health and student wellness, reduction in class size and caseloads, and well-rounded educational opportunities for our historically underserved students. As those plans were just submitted in early March, just a few short weeks before schools closed to in-person learning because of the pandemic, and most schools have remained closed thus far in the 2020-21 school year, we ask that the legislature allow districts to carry over their Year 1 student investment account plans to Year 2, or that a shortened process is implemented for Year 2.
Finally, we would ask the legislature make additional funds available to districts in support of extended learning opportunities for students who have fallen behind as a result of the pandemic and/or comprehensive distance learning. We greatly appreciate the additional $50 million that was earmarked during the December 21st special session, which will help districts return students to in-person schooling in the second semester of this year. However, additional funds will be needed to support our students who are struggling. Programming might include extended day or evening tutoring, weekend workshops, small group supports, additional mental health providers in schools, and so on.
I, along with my fellow Hillsboro School Board members, welcome the opportunity to meet and talk to you in more detail about our 2021 legislative priority. For students, staff, parents, and other community members who might be viewing this video, we encourage your advocacy efforts as well. Please visit the Budget Matters page on our website to access a one-pager of our priorities, a list of legislative contacts for the 21-23 biennium, and an advocacy leave behind sheet, and much more. Thank you for your time, attention, and service.